Man, super excited for a good friend of ours and a great football coach, among many other things. But Camdenton Lakers' own Jeff Shore was inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame class as part of the Elite 11, and they had a luncheon ceremony last Wednesday down in Springfield. And what an event as Jeff Shore was honored. And man, what was really cool was all of the support and how many people from Camdenton, from the Lake area, were at that luncheon in support.
There were like 8 full tables of Camdenton Lakers there. And I mean, we kind of sat right in the middle of them. But yeah, that's one of the things that makes Camdenton so special is the buy-in and the friendship from everybody there. But there were players that Jeff Shore played with and won state championships who are still living in the area, who are there at the game. Coach Parr Pitts, who was one of those players who won a state championship, was there. And the women's basketball coach, Stacy Caffey, activities director, Dr. Billy Kurtz. I mean, just a ton of people there. And I think some of them even took like a Black Hawk helicopter from Camdenton to Springfield to go to that. I mean, how cool is that?
Was that the school board president,
I
Gail
think so.
Griswold, and Dr. Sean Kirksey, the
Yep.
superintendent?
Yep.
But it such great representation. And what gets lost on a lot of people, Jeff Shore in his own right was one of the greatest student athletes to ever come through the District of Camdenton. And as the Sports Hall of Fame guide from that day read, I'll just read it. Most fans these days probably know Shore as the former head coach of the Camdenton Lakers football program. The program itself inducted into the Hall of Fame as part of the 2016 class. He was the head coach for 11 years, and before that was an assistant, but he was a pretty good athlete himself, though he never lost a regular season game as a quarterback from 7th grade through his senior year in high school, although he wasn't the quarterback his sophomore year. Pretty crazy. He was All-State in 86 and 87 when Camdenton won state championships, and he won 26 consecutive games. On top of that, he was All-American quarterback those 2 years for Camdenton in 86, 87. Overall, he threw for 3,200 yards, completed over 70% of his passes with 51 touchdowns. And in 87, he led the state, a record that still holds today, with a 78% completion percentage, and at one point in time had completed 29 consecutive passes. That record was noted in the USA Today, and I believe that still stands today.
Wow.
The only other consecutive completion mark that I could find across the country that was noted was 19, meaning he would be 10 more completions above that record. He later was a redshirt freshman at the University of Arkansas, and then was a 3-year letterman at Missouri State as a wide receiver. Of course, in coaching, he worked for his dad, the legendary Bob Shore, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004, and he helped the program win 2 state championships as a coach as well. He was 96 and 44 as a head coach, winning 3 Ozark Conference championships with 5 district titles, with 4 teams reaching the state quarterfinals. And that's all great, right? Pretty impressive in itself.
Yeah.
But he played 4 sports in high school. Track 4-year letterman, 2 times All-State, held numerous records at the Camdenton District, still holds the 300-meter record 36 years later.
Wow.
Was a state runner-up for the 300-meter dash in 86, and the high hurdles, he finished 5th in the state. Baseball, 4-year letterman, held the stolen bases record at Camdenton, and then was offered a full scholarship to Missouri State, where he later played a semester of baseball. Basketball in high school, 4-year letterman, a starter, over 1,000 points in his career, and still holds the record for most three-pointers made in a game with 9, a record he shares with the honorary judge Michael Gilly.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Wow.
And then football, 3-year starter, was an All-American those 2 years that I told you, and all of his records that he had, except for his completion percentage and consecutive completions, have been broken by Paxton DeLaurent, who, of course, his head coach was Jeff Shore, who kind of implemented the change and was instrumental in his emergence, Paxton DeLaurent, that is. So that is Coach Jeff Shore, and what I love the most about all these accolades and all these things is family first. And faith is right there with it. And as a matter of fact, when the Elite 11 were called to the stage as part of that ceremony, Coach always has his Camdenton hat, and what a lot of people don't notice is right there on the bill is a big cross. Carries that everywhere. And so one of the most likable guys in the country, Coach Jeff Shore, inducted in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame 2023 Elite 11 class. Congratulations to Coach Jeff Shore and his entire family. What a cool day, and how cool was that to get to be part of that?
You know, it was such an honor to be invited to go and join them and be a part of that. I mean, and for you, I mean, you're kind of like the Shore's adopted son in a way, you know. I mean, they love you and you love them, and it's, you know, pretty much your whole life. So not surprising at all that they were so happy that you were there to you know, share that with them. But again, Jeff, you know, we were talking about DJ Kyle and how much everybody loves him. It's hard to find somebody that doesn't. Jeff Shore's kind of the same way. I mean, he is just such a phenomenal guy. It's hard to find anybody that doesn't just love that guy. And think of all the lives he changed as their head coach, you know, the young men and even young ladies, you know, and as being a teacher and stuff like that. So he deserves this. There's so many more of these honors to come for Jeff Shore. Just the fact that he never lost a regular season game from 7th grade through high school is unreal.
Surprising.
Shocking.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, stunning.